ended a dangerous experiment.
He escaped.
Oh, just a little late. It's our man at the movies.
Drives films with Eclipse. Hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at eclipsecinemas.com.
Well, he joins us every Thursday, and it's nearly like a mission impossible. Is it today? We wonder. Some great movies for you. Collie?
Yeah, it's very excited. I was sitting there listening to the very long job file, and I was going, yeah, lots of jobs there. Would I do one of those? And then I just thought, hang on. This week I got to see two massive, really good movies, and I got paid to watch them before anyone else. And I just thought, do you know what? I think I'm happy where I am, Seamie. Happy where I am.
Absolutely. You've got the best job in the world. You work in beautiful Bundoran and a fantastic cinema.
Yeah, well,
that could be better.
Most days, all jobs are jobs too. Let's not. They will never believe my reviews if I pretend every day is a dream. But but this week it really was, and like I won't lie to you. We've been, I've had plenty of time on my hands given the weather and so on, but we were looking at some of the movies coming up, and we are just chock-a-block with films coming up for the next few weeks. There's one weekend that it's kind of smallish movie, but every other weekend right into August now we have got something massive this week. We're gonna really struggle to fill them all in, but we'll start with Tom, will we?
Oh yeah, Mission Impossible. Is this officially the last episode of the whole series?
Well, I remember going to many a farewell tour of people, So Elton John did his first farewell tour in about 1978, didn't he? So he's only recently done his final one. I remember going to see David Bowie's final tour in 1990. There were many tours after that one. So
don't forget Simply Red. They're back. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we don't know. We don't know. But certainly they were putting an effort into it, and the whole theme of this film from the opening credits is, look at all of these stunts Tom Cruise has done in all the last few movies, and that they're all connected. And it's very clever the way they tie in all the stuff, all the big stunts, all the stuff that you kind of forgot. You remember, we all remember him on the wires trying to, dangling above the floor. We don't remember what he was trying to get, the Hooja gig or whatever it was. It doesn't really matter. But they remind you in this one and go, oh, it's all connected to this big final movie. And Tom Cruise has been building up for this for ages. When he was doing Top Gun Maverick, he was also doing reports from the set about this, and he was standing on top of a plane saying, next time I see you in the cinema, I'm going to be doing this stunt, and jumps off the plane. He really milked it. He's been in all the theaters. He turns up, buying his tickets. He's saying, you got to see this in the cinema. You've got to come and watch it. And I don't know if it's the last one, but he's saying, this is what gets people doing. I'm going to go bigger and better. And I think, as he gets older, if he can't do the stunt, he's not going to do it at all.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wants to do. And of course, the whole plot of this movie is the bad guy in it is kind of AI. And I was thinking watching it, I'm sure it's not meant on this level, but you really go, it's Tom Cruise versus AI. And that is true because, look, I like a lot of those superhero movies and so on. But once everyone's a special effect, you can't really care about little pixels and stuff like that in the same way when it's meant to be stunts and death-defying. But I'm watching Tom Cruise hanging off a plane and going, that is Tom Cruise hanging off a plane. That is impressive. Yeah. Now, I know in real life there's a safety wire that they have covered up with, that they've used a computer for that. Or when Tom Cruise is underwater, he's not 500 feet underwater, but he is 100 feet underwater in a suit, being thrown around this massive pool. You're going, my God, how is this man? And then, there's a bit where he has to rip off his wetsuit and you go, that man is 62? I never looked like that. Not even when I was 12, I didn't have that figure. My God, he is saying, I am giving you value for money. Do you know who he is? You played him before. He is the Bruce Springsteen of the films. He's going, it is a long movie, and it probably is. I think it probably could be 15 minutes shorter at the start. But he is saying, if you're going to spend your money, you're going to leave this movie exhausted going, wow, every penny is up on the screen. You can see where the money went. Do you know when you go and see something here, it costs 200 million? How? Yeah. And it's not all in Tom Cruise's teeth either. You're going, this is it. The stunts are great. The story Yeah, it was good fun, and the tension is there good, and all the other people, but I don't really know what happened because it doesn't matter, because it's just an excuse to get from one bad guy to another. That Tom Cruise, he's off a cliff, he's off a building. It's great fun, top
Great
class
fun, right?
entertainment.
Mission Impossible. It could be maybe the last one, and it looks like it is probably the best one.
Yeah, there's nothing like it on the big screens. Nothing.
Okay, okay. No, I'm really looking forward to Lilo and Stitch. Absolutely, can't wait for this, and I want to hear what you
Hugely
told.
anticipated. Will we play the clip first?
We'll play the clip, and here we go.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He is trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one.
What hideous planet is caught in your crosshairs?
Shooting star! I wish for a friend.
The best friend. I'd leave this clip on for the next hour. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I have to see this movie. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I wish people had seen this. Is actually, so when we were doing the pre-show stuff and getting ready, and you played that clip, you laughed your way through the clip the first time, and then when you watched it again, you still laughed at the same jokes as well. Like, you were so happy to see it. And I watched this yesterday, and I had never seen the original Lilo and Stitch, but I watched it with somebody who had seen it. So I was giggling at the joke for the first time, and she was holding her hands together in glee, going, "Oh, look, it's this person, that person." And it is just lovely, and it's fun. And like, now I think they've changed a few things. Some things they've just modernized a bit. And I think they decided they bring a bit more Hawaii into it. And there's a little bit less Elvis than there was in the first one, although he still features. But they just, the thing is, you can never be 7 again. And my friend said that. She goes, "Look, the first one I saw when I was 7, and I will so that'll always be my favorite." But there'll be lots of people who are 7 now who are going to go into this, and they're going to absolutely fall in love with Lilo and Stitch. And that thing of Disney princesses where everyone's a bit perfect. The fact it is, a girl who's a bit lonely and a bit bold and a bit of trouble, and she finds the person who makes her, who's also bold, but together they make each other better. They have a better life, and they've learned about love, all the great Disney stuff, but it's in a more cheeky, irreverent way. And I think that's why people loved it so much, because it wasn't just glamour and all that sort of stuff. It was, the little kids everywhere could relate to both Lilo and Stitch, and not meaning to be bold, but you just had to bite your little brother or kick your sister, and that's who we all were growing up. So I think because of the sort of story it is, with humans mixing with aliens, the live action stuff works better than some of the other stuff they've translated. Stitch, it's the same person doing the voices, did the cartoon, and a lot of people that were in the cartoon originally, like Tia Carrere and stuff, turn up in other roles. But it's just fun, it's sweet. I got a bit emotional in it. I was surprised.
Emotional.
I kind of went a bit, I laughed out loud 7 or 8 times. I'm like, here's the thing. Let's be honest. I'm in my 50s. It's not. Yeah. I am not the target audience. I don't have kids. I didn't bring, like, you brought your kid. Watch this with your kids, didn't you? And now you probably want to watch it with your grandkids. And that is brilliant. But I didn't have that experience, and yet I felt that too.
Okay. Come here. Are we kind of in ET territory?
I think there's a huge amount of ET. It's like he's bold ET, isn't it? That's
bold ET.
And of course, the thing what I didn't realize is that he's supposed to be super intelligent, and he uses her. He uses her as a shield. And at first, it's quite cynical that he latches onto this lonely child, but then of course he's the one who falls in love with her.
Okay, right. Now, missed it Monday. You've got to rush. Warfare. You're bringing in Warfare back.
Yeah, again, I didn't
movie.
see this one. It did really well in the cinema. Very serious, very clever filmmaking. It has to be seen to be experienced. It's kind of like Saving Private Ryan for this generation. Yeah, okay. Only a $5 on Monday.
And quick mention to Karate Kid: The Legends.
Yeah, this opens on Wednesday. We'll talk about this next week.
Okay.
But hot on the heels of Cobra Kai, they've brought Daniel LaRusso back in the movies. And he's teaming up with Jackie Chan.
Okay, all right. That's it on the movies. Till next week. We're not sure what day we'll be here because these guys are up for awards next week. They are. Okay, we'd love to hear about that. That's Collie on Movies. Till next week.
Bye.